Really? Hey, y'all. The production guy messed me up. He's telling me to say that. That's fine. Hey, this is Domenica Sutherland. I'm here with Luis, and we are coming to you live from Austin, Texas for the Nashville Nightshade versus the Austin Torch. It looks like we're about to start some introductions here on the field. Hey, y'all. Hope you enjoyed those commercials. We're back introducing the Torch here on the field. Really happy to see this roster out here for the Torch. We got a couple players missing due to Beach Nationals this weekend. Looking like it's going to be a pretty great day for Ultimate in Austin. We have number 2, Elise Bjork out. Number 5, Drea Sparza. Number 8, Elise Frankie. Both fourth twins, Katie Fourth and Bex Fourth. Then we also have Laura Garantzer and Tina Woodings out for the day. But looking like a great roster out here for the Torch. Really excited to see what they bring out.
And Nightshade is also missing.
Number 88, Stephanie Wang, last minute did not make the trip down here to Austin from Nashville.
I am really glad the weather cleared up.
It has been pretty brutal the past couple of days.
Morning. Yeah, it was nasty this morning for sure.
Yeah, Shireen Raby is rostered for this game, which will be great to see. She is one of the injury reserve players along with Tina Woodings for the Austin Torch. As well, we see Aubrey Davis and Amy Kay, the two coaches for the Torch.
Yeah, so I watched the previous games, and I think one thing that I would like to see the Torch do for this game is really spread the field more and really use the full width of the field. I'll be also interested to see if Nightshade does the same like saggy zone that they did against Pride for the previous game. So I'm kind of interested to see what happens.
Yeah, I think it'll be really great to see both teams. They both have been around since last year. They both were two teams that were created last year before the PUL existed. So I'm really excited to see what both teams will bring to the field.
Yeah, especially I want to see what happens with. I feel like there's missing some key handler Torches missing some key handlers, right?
Yeah, they're missing 2 O-line handlers in Laura Garantzer and Elise Bjork.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what the new O-line looks like.
Yeah, the rest of the roster kind of stepping up and being it's their time to shine.
So one interesting note, the Torch have elected at all home games, instead of using the national anthem, to actually use America the Beautiful. instead of using the national anthem. They felt that it was more appropriate and more in line with what they felt as a team would be appropriate in each game.
Gotcha.
So currently we have both teams a part of the national anthem. You see some players on the torch choosing to stand towards the flag and some just with each other, just kind of respecting the moment.
Yeah, and also if you ever wonder, like, what kind of like the mission statement and kind of there's a response on like what the league thinks about national anthem stuff. If you're ever curious, just go to premierultimateleague.com, and they kind of have nice little snippets, and it's really informative, and it's really cool. So if you ever have any questions or curious of why certain things are done, they're pretty transparent and open, and premierultimateleague.com is a very resourceful website to get any questions answered.
Yeah, it's a really great resource, and I really recommend. As well as looking at the website, we see just all different social media aspects. They have Twitter, Instagram.
Yes. Oh, and also they have their podcast.
Ooh.
Which is, they're still, I think, figuring out the name, if it's like Pulp or Pulpit, for those that have been like listening to the broadcast. But yeah, so it's also cool. They have little segments that are actually really cool. They're pretty much any questions that you're unsure about. It's just a platform that they're using kind of to just start a conversation and kind of just information about the league and just I think gender equity and just equity overall in general. So it's really cool podcast. They've seemed to shorten them recently to just keep it like under 20 minutes. So it's a quick listen, especially if you commute to work or something. And just pop that in.
That's a great thing. We could see the captains for the Torch and for the Nightshade right now going on the disc to flip. One notable thing is you'll see number 23, Liz Barnes, for the Nightshade. She is here, but she will not be playing this evening. You'll see her there in the LB number 23 black jersey in the flip. So you have Liz Barnes, and then you also have, Mariana Rodriguez as captains for the Nightshade for today's game, and then you have Amy Broom and Julia Schmaltz there for the Torch. Definitely interesting to see Liz Barnes not cleating up for today's game and still making the trek to Austin. Excited she's here to support her teammates, but really unfortunate that we won't get to see her in action today. She's been a player I've really enjoyed watching in their past couple of games.
Yeah, I was talking to the coach before the game, and for the most part, half the roster traveled yesterday afternoon. They kind of broke up the trip and drove. But yeah, so half the roster drove, the other half flew in, and I believe they are leaving after I think they eat with the Torch and maybe watch some of the Soul game, but they're going to start their trek back to Nashville, driving back. So a lot of time spent on the road. So that'll be tough.
So as you can see, the Torch won the flip and chose to pull from the north end zone, which will be the end zone to the right of your screen. Great to see some comments in the YouTube channel. We'll be checking them out from time to time. We will get an update from you about why she isn't playing. Thank you, Brianna Stedman, for the question. We'll try to get an update for you probably about halftime. But if you have any questions for us, please just keep bringing them in.
Shout out. Yeah, we have the chat up, so please tell us where you're watching from and who you're rooting for. Keep us engaged.
As you saw at the beginning, the flip was done, the coin flip was done in a Discraft Ultimate disc. The Discraft Ultra Star is the official disc of the Premier Ultimate League. Discraft, the world leader in disc sports. As well, earlier you saw some commercials from Spin Ultimate. And this live broadcast of the Premier Ultimate League is brought to you by Spin Ultimate. Spin Ultimate, providing custom team uniforms and ultimate apparel since 2007. Visit Spin on the web at spinultimate.com. So it looks like we're going to get a look at this O-line that is missing a few key players from the Torch this year. Looks like they'll be receiving to start the first quarter. You have Sharon Sow, Annie Ortiz, Shireen Raby, Julia Schmaltz, Amy Broom, and Kara Crouch running out and starting this game, which we are about to get underway here.
So, Dominica, who are you really excited to watch on this Torch O-line?
I'm excited to see what Shireen brings. I'm very excited. Shireen is one of my coaches at the University of Texas, and I think she's a very dynamic player on the field, and it's been really lovely. Oh, and what a great D to start off by number 78, Eliza Hutchings. Right on Julia Schmaltz. It's a great thing. You have number 20, Noel Holmes, picking up. Nice lofty pass to the middle. You have the Nightshade just going to town and swinging it across the field, trying to keep the Torch on their heels. Amy Broom with a good mark there.
I always love Amy's marks. And man, she could get some hand blocks. That was a big around. You know, she made that tough.
That was number 8, Sophia Lima, to what looks to be number 7, Abby Hewitt, for the first break of the game. Right there you see Amy with that good mark, and you can see here just a nice high release backhand here from Lima to Hewitt. Just really nice, finds her just right in that break space. Really heartbreaking, had some good defense downfield. Looks like a pretty last second throw, but really well placed and really well tracked down.
Yeah, so that was pretty much like a run through D. That's how the turn kind of happened, so hopefully we can clean it up.
Be hopeful to see this Torch O-line coming back out and seeing what they can do. Also really great to see the Nightshade get a good D to start. It's always nice to see the away team coming out strong to start the game, really give the home team some fight and make the game interesting.
Yeah, and I don't know if we have any shots of flags anywhere, but for the most part the wind is going, if you're looking at the screen, it's right to left. So it's kind of where the wind is. It's not necessarily straight up, but it is a little windy.
Okay, we got Sharon Sow with the disc now after a nice throw from Shireen Raby.
There's Kara.
Good old Kara Crouch coming around. And just a wide open Julia Schmaltz there for the score. You have Shireen open down in the corner, but Julia just doesn't think she has the throw and takes that nice, easy option to Sharon Sow in the end zone. And the Torch get on the board with a hold after a shaky first point.
And Sharon was phenomenal for them the last game against the Atlanta Soul. It seemed like she was just making plays left and right, always open. So hopefully she keeps doing that for them for this game. Yeah,
Sharon's a very exciting player to watch. I think someone we should all be looking forward to seeing. She's very quick. She can get those quick open side cuts as well. She is phenomenal in the air. Just really uses her body to push the defender out of the way and get up.
And so we have S. Schumacher watching from Amarillo. Probably some sort of relationship to Tiffany Schumacher. Yes.
That would be a nice leap there, Luis. I think it's a good one.
Maybe. We're gonna ask the weather. It's not bad anymore.
It's nice. It's cold. Well, okay, it's cold for us here in Texas. Okay, we see this O-line out here for the Nightshade for the first time this game after the D-line got a break to start. Right now you see number 12, Colleen Wright. She just has to launch it downfield, but a great grab by number 9, Kelsey Foster, picking up that in a lot of contact. And you just see Foster running down the field, and a great break throw, almost D'd by Danny Runzo, but just absolutely finds number 77, Julia Hill, in that end zone for the Nightshade hold. looked like Nightshade was going to be in a little bit of trouble, but they pulled down that junk throw, and Kelsey Foster with just taking advantage. Kayla Ramirez just kind of went a little straight up on that mark, and she was able to take advantage of the around throw, and she had Hill just wide open in the end. Oh, Hill just shot up and caught it. It looked like the throw was actually meant for someone else, but Hill tracked it down. We're going to see what looks to be a slightly different D-line than we saw to start off. We'll have Brie LeClaire coming out to pull for the Nightshade. A nice pull kind of in the middle of the field. You're going to have Annie Ortiz picking up. Shireen with a nice strike cut to start. She's electing to throw the dump throw to Annie. We're seeing a little bit of a sag right now from the Nightshade.
Yeah, it looks like they are sagging, like pretty
and
much
a
what
nice
they did against the Pride.
bid. That was a nice bid opportunity there from number 7.
Oh, and it's up.
Oh!
What
Well,
a great snag.
I think we talked about this earlier.
We
Sharon can
did.
do it all.
We did. That was a phenomenal play. And she was double guarded.
Yeah, she was. She had her
Double
defender,
guarded.
number 7, Abby Hewitt, in front of her, and then was getting sandwiched behind. It was just a great look there. Yeah, you see that help defense coming off the back from number 16, Ginger Price, but just couldn't get there in time.
And there's the same people to throw the score and catch the score. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was Julia to Sharon again.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be seeing a lot of that. Julia and Sharon, mostly known for their cutting abilities, but both have some pretty great throws as well. I'm lucky enough to have played with them in club before, and Julia also in college, so really enjoy just both of their extreme talents. We'll see Bethany Eberhardt here, number 3, with the pull for the torch. Coming off to this Nashville O-line. Cool. We have them centering the disc to number 12, Colleen Wright. She does a quick downfield throw and gets it back. You'll see Foster again really just running the field. And almost layout D by Sky Fernandez. But you just see the player just getting it through the contact. And that looks to be number 2, Claire Bittergary Curtis. Oh, and it looks like Nashville is just on the end zone and just walks it straight in. And that was a great play there just to get it up the field. We'll see the replay here. There's that almost incredible D and equally incredible grab there by Nashville. And there you see number 22, Sierra Rimmer, just getting that nice throw into Claire Bittigary Curtis, the same player we saw with the absolutely amazing play or possession saving layout earlier in the point. So she is really another player we're going to look out for as well on this Nashville O-line. Overall, I would say a pretty engaging and quick-paced game so far in the first 4 minutes of gameplay. Just really something intriguing and really exciting for the rest of the game.
And here we have Sharon pretty much cutting. I thought she was going to get open again because she's always open.
Yep. Oh,
big throw.
Well, she is open again.
Oh, there. We will find her on the field. We will throw it up to her. She will get it.
Yes, Luis, Sharon will catch the frisbee. We see Anna Ortiz here with the disc, electing for a nice swing to Amy. We'll see Nashville again in this sagging set on the handlers. You see the handlers smartly ejecting out of the way in order to bring their poach out.
Is it going to happen
Looks
again?
like Julia might holster that and send it to Kara. A little bit of contact there from the defender. Oh, and a nice layout by number 17, Marissa Land, but just out of bounds. And we'll see this Nashville D-line try to get another break. We have number 20, Noel Holmes, picking up the disc for Nashville, and she just tries to get it out.
Block.
And number 12, Annie Ortiz, with a fantastic hand block. Just really knew what she was doing. Let's see, we got a short field now thanks to that hand block from number 12.
Kara's picking up, swung it.
It's great to see you get another dish pass back to Kara, and she finds that inside lane. Oh, and just misses Marissa Land. Marissa kind of not really guarding her player right now, and Kara had to switch with her in order to keep the play moving. We'll have Annie again on Noel Holmes, and she elects for a big around swing.
So it seems like they're just kind of sagging off the handlers and letting them pretty much swing it as much as they want. They're just not playing really tight.
Yeah, it looks like downfield's pretty tight. Okay. And there goes Amy Broom with that nice mark, forcing that throwaway. And it looks like Amy will also be the one to pick up the disc.
Watch Amy's like fakes and pivots. It's just phenomenal watching her just throw.
And there we go.
Play a lot of ultimate with her.
Oh, and just a drop there from number 88, Shireen Raby. And we're going to have number 10, Melanie Lindsay, picking up the disc for the Nashville Nightshade, just getting it really quickly to number 18. And she'll get it back and launches it to, she had two people wide open in the end zone and just overshoots both of them.
So Nightshade was going with the wind, and so you can tell that this kind of just dropped.
And that was Megan Kramer and Ginger Price in the end zone trying to track down that other break, and we'll have Austin working it upwind the full length of the field to try to get this hold. And man. Julia Schmaltz just
looks like kind of
underthrows Kara Crouch, and we had number 18, Mariana Rodriguez. And there was a timeout called by Nashville. Looks like the coach thought we just saw. Maybe not. Oh, it looks like there's now a foul on the mark. So the stall's going to come in on 0, and I think the Nashville coach has decided he doesn't want to take his timeout anymore.
Oh. Well, I guess when you have all the time. Oh.
And there we go. Now he takes the timeout.
They wanted to center it.
Pretty engaging point, I will say. I think we've noticed some holes in the Torches O-line without some key players this weekend.
I feel like Nightshade is also staying really, really tight, and so they're making all like kind of the throws really hard, and Torch is not able to get the separation that they need to make those throws nice and easy.
I think that's completely correct. I think one thing to notice right here is we have the Torch going for a full line substitution here. They're putting out their D line. And you can see here that it'll be Ramirez, White, Schumacher, Metzler, Runzo, Foster, and Panios coming in to try to change the momentum of this game. Looks like we'll also see Nashville doing the same thing. They're switching and bringing out their O-line. Like the AUDL, you can do full line substitutions here in the PUL. A slight differential from the USAU rules that the PUL almost also follows.
So
wow.
Wow. Nice.
Claire with a nice bobble grab there, and there goes Foster to the end zone, and you see that pesky wind we were just talking about again, just taking that disc out of bounds.
Man, that was great hand-eye coordination on that bobble.
Yeah. Claire really proven herself in this game to people that in Austin that may not know who she is. And there you see Schumacher with a nice swing to Panios.
So let's see if this D-line can put one in for the Torch.
See Runzo with a nice grab. Former U24 women's player last time around in Perth.
So it looks like Nightshade is doing some sort of sag. Oh,
And just an unfortunate throw into a poach there. Electing.
there's an open player.
Yes, and now Kayla Ramirez has picked up number 77, Julia Hill. We have Price. Oh. With a cheeky high release there from Claire. We'll have number 7, Abby Hewitt with the disc now for the Nightshade.
Oh, and a miscue.
And just a miscue. We have Foster with the disc, electing to go to Schumacher, who's going to look for Foster, but unfortunately, Schumacher just has a lot of power behind that to get it upwind.
Yeah,
and
that was
just
an upwind. I got some distance.
Let's see if we can get some good field position here from the Torch, or if we're going to see Nashville just work it down the field. Oh,
there we go. Wait,
and
did she get a block?
No, it looks like just a turnover there from number 22, Sierra Rimmer.
Oh,
and what
wow,
a great
what a
grab from Val Pinillos.
That's such a good throw, too. Like an inside out flick, just out to space. Just had to run and go get it.
Absolutely great throw there.
Look at this throw.
Fantastic look there from Kayla Ramirez. Also one of my coaches. Going to continue to plug how much I love my coaches. Not biased at all. But yeah, there we see it again. Just great focus to track that down so close to the sideline by Val Pinillos there. And we're going to see this Torch O-line, or Torch D-line, my apologies, coming out again.
So I'm sorry if y'all can't hear me. We'll see if we can get some adjustments done for y'all.
I also apologize, I'm loud.
Thank you, Terry. Appreciate it. Can you hear me?
I think we might have fixed the problem.
There you go.
Let us know if it sounds any better out there in the comments. And we have the D-line out here. Kind of throwing that same sag look again. We have number 6, Amy Schleba with the disc.
Is it high stall?
And
Travel call?
like there's a conversation on the field.
And the stall's coming back in. So I believe it was a travel.
And there we go. Just a quick throw ends up getting intercepted. And there goes Bethany Eberhardt shooting downfield to Sydney Overman. And just drops it. It was a great throw there by Eberhardt.
Such a good throw.
Seeing so many hucks sail out of bounds downwind, it was refreshing to see a huck that didn't fly too far out of their defender's reach. And again, we'll have Colleen Wright picking up the disc.
And this is still the same. Is this still the same D-line, or?
This is, is a different D-line from the last point. Almost saw Schumacher there get the D.
Oh, it's still up.
Oh, and just great effort there by number 32, Lauren Bryant, trying to track that down. You'll see Sky Fernandez.
Sky, the youngest player on the team.
Yes, on the Torch this year.
Oh.
Ooh, with a great bid. Played for the USA U20 team last time around. Looks like there's a pit called on the field. We've sorted out. Looks like we also have an injury called. We'll see Julia Schmaltz going in there for Ashley Shilor. And that was number 9, Kelsey Foster, with the injury there. Unsure what's happening. Hopefully she's okay, and we'll let you know. And wow, what a great D there by Nashville. Unfortunate throwaway. And
even more unfortunate drop.
Just a more unfortunate drop.
So let's see if Torch
Katie Metzler taking it out. Throwing through some
Oh.
contact.
Nice.
I'm going to see Katie Metzler throwing it into Julia Schmaltz for the Austin break. Right here, we'll see just a lot of contact on that mark by Amy Schleybaugh.
There are just a lot of unfortunate turns on that one. There's some just throws straight to defender standing and some just drops. But luckily, Torch was able to make that easy score right on the side, right on the end zone.
Okay, we're going to see this D-line come out again for the Torch. We'll also see some players coming over from O-line. We'll see Annie Ortiz out there for this Torch D-line. Generally, we've seen her playing O-line for the past couple of points. We'll have Tiffany Schumacher with the pull. There's a nice upwind pull there. And we're going to have number 20 for the Nightshade going to get the disc. That's Noah Holmes, one of these star handlers here for the Nightshade. We'll have number 12, Colleen Wright, with just an absolute great well, it was an absolutely great cut. Got her defender absolutely on their heels to go up line, but just overthrows her option deep. And we'll have Danny Runzo picking up the disc for the Torch to try to get another break.
So there's about a minute left on the clock, and Dom, there's some rules about the buzzer. It's different. Is that correct? They don't stop play at the end.
Yeah. So as we'll see on the field, there's about a minute left in the PUL. When the timer ends, we will see whoever has possession of the disc, that will finish out, and then
so a turn.
That's the end of the quarter.
A turn has to happen. A turn or a score.
A turn or a score will have to happen for the end of the quarter.
So the countdowns aren't necessary for the first, second, and third quarter, but the fourth quarter, the buzzer is in effect.
And we saw Jenna Bigby saying she got fouled on that and gets to keep the disc.
So the pick.
And a pick was called. We have 14 seconds left in this quarter. Looks like we'll probably have the Torch having possession at the end of this quarter. Yep. Unless there's a turn in the next 2 seconds. And we will finish out the possession with the Torch for this first quarter. Let's see if we can get a break to end the quarter. So there was a timeout called by the Torch.
Okay.
Amy Kay on the sideline. Just right next to the observer. Just waiting to see what happened. Kind of like a football coach, you know? When you have a football coach on the sideline that's just waiting for the perfect time to call the timeout. That's what I equate Amy Kay to. And we'll see this O-line coming in for the Torch. We'll see Annie Ortiz staying on the field, back in her O-line handler role.
Oh, we have Amy in. We have Sharon. Sharon's in.
And Julia Schmaltz. And we'll see this D-line for the Nightshade coming out.
And Kara Crouch is out there cutting as well. Look at that phenomenal cutting. And look at that grab. And she's a mother of two. Is that correct? She just had her second child. She just had her second child, and just a phenomenal player.
Marissa Land is very poached, and I don't think she seems to recognize it. There we go with that nice inside.
Oh, Kara's wide open.
Kara just coming right out of the end zone to grab that. And there we go, right back to Marissa Land, and we have a Torch break to end the quarter.
Another person that I really enjoy watching, like with their pivoting, their fakes, is Kara Crouch. Kara Crouch has actually been a big role model of mine. Her and her husband Tank playing on the world stage. I go back and watch that footage, and it's just like, man, you are such a power couple. Kara is so good, and for years I've like idolized her, and to be able to like, you know, we both kind of help coach youth, and so I was also very fortunate enough to like be involved in like strategy talks when she helped put the mixed Moon Tower team together, and just being able to see her just talk. And she's a teacher. She explains things so well.
If you can't tell, Luis loves Kara Crouch.
I have a bit of a crush. I
Just
do have
a
little bit of a
crush on Kara Crouch, which I think everyone in Austin does. So
yeah,
it's fair to say.
Get in line. Get in line. I get it.
So what do you think really stood out for you from both teams in that first quarter?
Yeah, the Nightshade really playing like tight person D. They were pretty much on all the throws. They were like right there. They were like right on their hips. A little bit of contact here and there, but I feel like Nightshade is playing really, really tight. And so it's making some of the throws a little bit harder. I feel like there's also a couple of mistakes on both sides, like just some drops, missed throws. But it's the first quarter. Get those jitters out. It'll be good. The thing I have been noticing with the Torch is that so they've been kind of sagging as well, but the off handler, that the defensive person covering the handler is just kind of, I feel like they're not really doing anything. They're playing off of them. I'm not sure what the strategy is. Like, they're really far off, and so it would give Nightshade plenty of chance to swing the whole field. So I don't know if they're trying to bait that throw. So I'll be interested to see what the kind of the purpose of that off, like one of those defensive handlers just kind of playing really far off.
And we're about to start the second quarter here in Austin. As we saw to start the first quarter, we had Austin on O, so Austin will be pulling to start the second quarter. In the third quarter, they will be on O again, and then will pull again in the fourth quarter.
Landed out.
Yes, it did land out. We had an out-of-bound pull there from Bethany Eberhardt, and it looks like Colleen Wright is electing to take the disc in the middle of the field. We'll see this Torch D-line out here. We see Katie Metzler, Danny Runzo, Ashley Shelor, Bethany Eberhardt, Val Pinillos, Sky Fernandez, and Sydney Overman on the field. We see that the Torch has pretty much elected to go back to more hard handler defense. And we see Bethany Eberhardt taking the Claire Bittigary-Curtis matchup this time around, trying to see if they can limit her effect on the game. We have number 32, Lauren Bryant, with the disc now. And now back to Colleen Wright. And looks like there's a pick on the field.
It really seems like the handler defense kind of changed. They're really not letting those strikes happen. They're really forcing them to go around and then try to recover and stop any break throws coming off. So it looks like they're just hard flicks, and maybe not so much like straight up and sagging like they've had been in the first quarter.
For anybody wondering, the wind has slightly changed. It's now a crosswind across the field. Downwind is now towards us, on the opposite side of the fans. So as they're coming towards the bottom of your screen, they're going downwind and upwind towards the top of your screen. And we'll see Lauren Bryant taking a nice shot to number 7, Abby Hewitt, and she gets up just right over Sydney Overman for the Nashville hold to start the second quarter.
Lauren also had a great cut. She was really cutting deep and then just really sold if we catch it in the replay. Look at this. Oh, you missed it right away, but she had a phenomenal cut. She was really selling that deep cut and then really just changed direction and came back really hard and fast, and caught the Torch player off.
It's really nice to see just quick movement here from the Nightshade. And we'll see this D-line out here trying to get a break and continue their momentum. See the Nightshade pulling. Just a great pull there from the Nightshade. Of Amy Broom fielding the disc. to Annie Ortiz. See, Shireen had elected to eject at field, which gave room for Sharon to come under. And interesting scuba show throw there from
phenomenal D
Sharon.
by number 20.
Yeah. Noel Holmes really showing why she is a great D-line player on this Nightshade. And just an unfortunate drop there by the Nightshade.
And those are the drops, the same jitters that pretty much happened on both sides and during the first quarter. So hopefully we can just shake that off.
Unfortunate to see that drop come from Nightshade captain Mariana Rodriguez.
Oh,
and
as
again,
as we just said, yeah, another unfortunate drop.
We'll see Holmes coming to pick up the disc for the Nightshade.
So Nightshade's in avert some contact.
Reels the disc in, but it looks like there's a pick called on the field. It was a great grab there by Kayla Ferguson, but unfortunately the pick was involved, so it's being sent back to Holmes. Nice dish there to Sophia Lima.
Oh.
And just unfortunate error there by the Nightshade. See Annie Ortiz picking up the disc, guarded by Mariana Rodriguez. Holmes taking the dump throw.
So Nightshade also, I feel like they're kind of sagging again.
Looks like kind of a junk D. Same players, you see Mariana Rodriguez and Noel Holmes taking the handlers. Now they seem to have broken out of it. You see Annie Ortiz launching a flick to Sharon Tsao. And then we see Amy Broom and Julia Schmaltz.
And she just put it up.
And just unfortunate. A little floaty throw which gave the Nightshade defender Eliza Hutchings just time to box out Julia Schmaltz, so she wasn't able to get a clean catch on the disc. And a long throw there for the swing pass.
Yeah, great swing.
And there's a pick called downfield again.
Yeah, I feel that Nightshade is doing a really good job of swinging the disc. And I feel like if from both teams, if they use the whole width of the field, would just allow opportunities downfield to open up, especially if teams are like sagging or playing off.
Oh, and almost D there by Shireen Raby, but an unfortunate turn there by Megan Creamer after that great catch. You see Amy Broom here with the disc. See her looking off Kara Crouch to get that nice inside to Sharon Tsao. Kind of seemed a lot of stagnant flow there from the torch. They were able to find Tsao in the end zone eventually, but didn't really look like, as we were talking before the game, we were kind of hoping to see some dump swings across the field from the torch, and we haven't really gotten that yet this game. It'd be nice to see them take advantage of that instead of trying to squeeze these throws into these inside lanes. They're working for now, but might be nice to see a little bit more dump swing. Might prove to get some easier scores. We've seen that from the Nightshade, and it's really been working out to see the Nightshade when they get those nice holds. They're moving the disc really effectively across the field. See a little change up in this O-line from the Nightshade. You see Brie LeClaire on the field. Still got Colleen right here. You'll have Amy Schleybaugh taking the disc to her.
So
oh,
wow.
And just a misread there.
Oh,
and
another.
Another unfortunate drop there. And a travel called, but it's still a turnover.
So the Nightshade looks like they're setting up in side stack, which I believe they did this against Pride for their last game as well. So it looks like they're just trying to isolate players to get
Claire, of course, isolated, proving to be
wide
a
open.
real asset to this team. And almost a poach D there by Fernandez. Just came off a little earlier. You see Foster back on the field, which is good to see. And she launches that to Abby Hewitt for the score. 77. I apologize. I saw the 7. That is actually
Julia Hill.
Julia Hill.
And
My
she
apologies.
goes by Chucks, I believe.
She does go by Chucks.
Well, while we're talking about the Nightshade, a couple shout-outs to recent graduates. We have number 2, Claire, 8, Sophia, and 11, Alyssa, that just recently graduated. So congratulations to them.
It's super awesome to see these players out here with all the graduation festivities going around. I know a lot of schools are graduating in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we'll see this D-line back out here for the Nightshade. We'll see number 11, Alyssa Raspa, one of our recent graduates, taking pulling duties for the Nightshade. What a great pull by Raspa. Gave that time and float there.
And it looks
players.
like there's also a side stack, kind of, that started with Torch as well.
See Julia Smaltz able to tow that in. And there she goes, launching it to Kara Crouch in the end zone.
Oh.
And what a great D there by Kayla Ferguson. Just really step for step with Kara Crouch through all of that. You see on the replay here, just really was able to make up those yards and get in front of that disc. You see Noel Holmes picking up the disc. Again, going for those large swings that she seems to be really fond of this game. Oh. And Kara Crouch was just in front of Kayla Ferguson for that entire cut and just ended up getting a little bit of contact, but an unfortunate Nightshade error gives the Torch the disc back.
Torch is swinging it, and it's opening up stuff downfield. So using the whole width of the field is allowing them to be able to attack from different angles.
And a great grab there from Annie Ortiz through that contact from Noel Holmes.
Oh.
And you see that swing.
That was great.
There from the Torch. Amy Broom to Kara Crouch.
I think they're finding their rhythm, using the whole width of the field and being able to just nice and easy. And so that was kind of an upwind, right? Is that an upwind point, I guess?
I would say the wind's a little bit more swirly now. It's kind of moving around the field. Hard to really honestly tell from the booth what it's doing inside the stadium. But it looks like it's shifting between that crosswind and that upwind, downwind we were talking about earlier. See this O-line out here for the Nightshade. I think Colleen Wright has really impressed me this game. I've really enjoyed watching her command the disc on this Nightshade O-line. It's been really awesome to see. She was one of the captains last year for the Nightshade and is now taking on a manager position this year. Oh, and just that inside proved too difficult to track down for Foster. And we have a quick movement here from the Torch. Schumacher trying to find Eberhardt.
Wow. Wow, that was such a great throw.
Great throw and great run down there by Bethany Eberhardt to reel in the break for the Torch.
Nice inside. Wow, that was crazy.
Something I'm very impressed with. Eberhardt is very fast. You almost never see her lay out, as she says, because she doesn't need to, is her favorite thing. Schumacher and Eberhardt are teammates for Austin Showdown after Eberhardt and Katie Metzler, who has taken pulling duties for this point, came from Dallas Mave after playing there for many, many years, elected last season to start making the drives to Austin to play for Austin Showdown.
So let's see if the Nightshade can kind of. It seems like they just have little like execution on little errors on just catching, and so hopefully we can clean that up. It seems like the Torch is kind of getting rid of that. They got those drops out for them. So let's see if Nightshade can do the same.
Here goes the pull. We see the Nightshade again setting up in a side stack. Pull went out of bounds. Colleen Wright going to get the disc.
It seems like they're isolating Claire.
Yes. Looks like Claire will be the ISO in this. It looks like probably followed by Kelsey Foster.
Oh, and
Claire just absolutely beating her defender. Ooh.
Oh, some contact.
Some contact there by Kayla Ramirez to Amy Schlebaugh. Just looks like the shock of the moment. She's doing good now and is getting back into the throwing movement, looking dump. And gets a nice throw down field for Abby Hewitt and goes to Foster.
On this.
And
Oh, wow.
Brielle Leclerc just absolutely tracks that down. Really great cutter. I had the chance to go to U24 tryouts this past fall and got to play on teams with her when they split us up into little mini teams.
Oh, wow.
And she was fantastic cutter.
That's such a great
throw, She really
knows
knows how to use her height. She was one of my favorite people that I played with at tryouts. It was really lovely to see someone from the Nashville area coming to tryouts and just really showing girls up. And I really enjoyed playing with her. It was a great addition to bring over to this O-line for Nashville, as she's generally a D-line player for this team.
So I really, so we have pretty much our O-line out again with Kara, Amy, Sharon, and the rest of the Torch.
And the rest of the Torch.
I wasn't able to see. I lost sight.
See.
This is pretty much like an upwind pull.
Number 10, Melanie Lindsley with the pull. Kind of seems like we're getting that upwind, downwind again. A lot of these pulls going in this direction have been short. Probably fighting the wind down the field.
So it looks like Torch is set up in a vert now.
It looks like Nashville has elected to force backhands. Probably trying to force those throws.
Oh, and Sharon. Oh, beautiful cut by Sharon. Oh, still such a crazy throw.
Kara Crouch to Sharon Sal there in the end zone. Just a great button hook cut there from Sharon. Had noticed that she wasn't going to get that backhand from Kara.
And look at this throw.
We'll see this.
Look at this. Look at the fake.
Kayla Ferguson had thought she had pretty much covered this
big
other side.
Around. Wow.
Unfortunately, Megan Creamer just had gone to stop that big huck from Kara Crouch, and she took advantage of it.
Yeah, I would not have expected that crazy throw. It is like with the wind, nice big around. It's just crazy.
It's nice to see that the edge wasn't taken on that disc.
Yeah.
So many times, I think, as Ultimate players, we see the wind affecting it when we put edge on the disc, and it was nice to see that one just kind of float into the hands of Sharon.
Yeah.
See what we can see from this O-line from Nashville. Got the usual suspects out here for this Nashville O-line. Got it centered to Sierra Rimmer. Trying to get it to right.
And that was some tight dump defense from the Torch.
Claire getting it and doing a nice pass to Sierra Rimmer, who sends it, unfortunately, out of bounds. Oh, and a fan caught it.
And a fan caught it.
Oh,
and threw it back.
Or is that a chicken
wing? And it threw it back.
I don't know. And it got a nice cut. I think his daughter's proud of him.
I think you can keep it. If you catch it, I think you can keep it.
I don't know if Discraft would be okay with that. See Sky Fernandez with the disc.
Wide open handler. Let's use that full width of the field.
Saw Foster there committing to that sag defense. Unfortunately, just left Katie wide open and has to force that throw. Great defense there by the Nightshade.
That's foul called?
Oh, and a foul called on the throw by Katie Metzler. I think one thing that I really enjoyed about that point was just the phenomenal downfield defense by the Nightshade. There wasn't a lot of options.
Yeah.
Downfield, they all were very, very tight. Abby Hewitt did a great job playing that tight downfield D in order to get that D.
Shout out to Ryan Bigley, keeping the comments flowing. Giving us some inside news about Kara. She says she has the worst flick on the team. And I think maybe she got lucky. Maybe that's what it was.
Oh, and a nice pressure defense there from Nightshade. Tiffany Schumacher just able to grab it in. Great grab there from Claire. Oh, an unfortunate just fast movement caused an errant throw by the Nightshade. Torch looking content to just swing it and work with little throws downfield.
And the cutters seem to be really clogging on Torch. I think they're trying to transition into their end zone set.
And a hammer there.
Oh, man.
Looks like Katie Metzler just ran out of options. It was very stagnant there from the Torch, and the Nightshade was all in the right places, and there were no options coming from anywhere there. We have reached the under 2-minute mark in this quarter. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next 2 minutes. And a huck there from right. Oh, and just through the hands of Claire. And a timeout called by Amy Kay. Trying to get this break solidified for the Torch. Looks like we'll probably see an O-line substitution. And here comes the Nashville D-line. I think I've been very impressed with Noelle Holmes on this D-line. Not only is she a fantastic thrower for the Nightshade, she has been playing some absolutely fantastic person defense on these Torch handlers. They just don't know what to do when she's on them.
I think Claire was just on, got subbed out, but Claire has also been pretty much like starting and like isolating the side stack. If anything, creating space for her players. So maybe she's not open, but a lot of times she is. But she's really good about creating space.
Yep, and there goes the O-line for the Torch, working it down the field. Have that nice swing there from Kara. Looks
continue
like
that swing.
Number 14, Kayla Ferguson, might have actually gotten a hand on it, but was able to keep going. Oh, looks like there's a pick call downfield.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm not sure if maybe the cutters aren't used to, like, maybe we're still working out the flow together, or if when handlers are ejecting out, there just seems to be some like clogging that's happening downfield.
Nice grab there from Julia Schmaltz. Still send it up line, and just a nice D there by number 8, Sophia Lima. Just tracking down that slightly too far throw from Julia Schmaltz. We're under the 1-minute mark here for this quarter.
Oh, it looks like a timeout is going to be called.
Yep, and we have a timeout here called by Nashville. Maybe we'll see another full line substitution change here for the Torch and for Nashville. You'll see we're currently at about 30 seconds left. It'll be interesting to see what the plan is from Nashville here. We have this D line that we have more of an abbreviated D line that was out at the start of this point. We'll have Katie Metzler out, Danny Runzo, Tiffany Schumacher, Lillian White, Kayla Ramirez, Val Pinillos, and Ashley Sheilor. And then we'll have Colleen Wright picking up the disc for the Nightshade. Looks like the Torch are going to go flicks.
So this is just no side stack, just a normal host stack setup. And it looks like Torch is just playing tight defense. Tight person defense.
We see Abby Hewitt get open,
Oh, Lily.
almost bit there by Lily White.
Look at that tight defense, and it generated a turn.
Good job there from the Torch. See if we can get the same amount of defense here from the Nightshade. Got 15 seconds left.
Nightshade has been playing tight defense all time,
Oh,
and a
just
run through D.
Great run through D there. Oh.
It looks like there's a foul called.
Unfortunately, unlike the fourth quarter of the game, the clock does not stop. So it'll either be Torch or Nightshade disc once this has been talked through. In the fourth quarter, we'll see in the last 2 minutes, whenever there are calls, the clock will stop. And so we won't have the clock running out during these foul call discussions. See what looks like has been the agreement. And it looks like the Torch will keep the disc and try to finish out this half. There's a high release there. And a great D. And that is the end of the half here in Austin. We have the Torch up 9-6 on the Nashville Nightshade.
And yeah, Nightshade also just coming back and just playing tight person defense and also generating turns. Mark's making it hard. They have to throw it up, and Nightshade's just right there to be able to complete the D.
Yeah. So I think we're going to send you to a nice commercial break to start off this halftime, and we will be back with you in a couple moments. welcome back into this halftime. We still got about 2 minutes left here in this halftime. On the field, you'll see probably a cute game going on with some of our child fans and
I think this is the obstacle
one.
course, the obstacle course game.
Ooh,
I think that's what this is. You can see number 7 out there, Colleen.
she's one of the owners of the torch.
Shout out to Colleen. She does a lot of youth stuff. Helps run the Tusk camp here that's happening this summer. Insider news, I hear they're flying in a coach from Colombia, I believe. I forgot what her name was. But
This is your news. You're the one sharing it.
Oh, you're right.
You're looking at me like I know the answer, Luis.
I was hoping that you would know. But no, not to worry. Yina Cartagena is coming. And
Cartagena?
Cartagena. Well, you know.
Oh.
You know
Okay. Want to give a shout out to another one of our sponsors here, Strive and Uplift. The PUL athletes are supported by Strive and Uplift, a strength and conditioning community that provides virtual programming and education to Ultimate players worldwide, in addition to on-site services in their Seattle and Boulder locations. Learn more at striveanduplift.com. I'm a big fan of Strive and Uplift. I think it's a great organization. It's a women-owned organization that really is pushing the boundaries in Seattle and Boulder, and we see Ivy Harrison on the field stuck in a nice Discraft tunnel with her lovely
hair
for the day. If you can spot her counterpart in the stands. She's got stuck again.
Still stuck.
Another great sponsorship that we talked about earlier, Discraft. Discraft has been doing great things for the Ultimate community. Is the official disc of the Premier Ultimate League. Discraft is the world leader in disc sports.
So that is pretty much the end of halftime. I also want to shout out to the observers. We have Jason Conrad. I don't know if you can see them close to the Nashville team.
There's Jason Conrad.
And then we have Patrick Connor. It's over on the Austin side. And so they have been, kind of helping and making active calls.
And we have the PUL coming off to start this second half here in Austin. We'll see a side stack isolation play here and a zone being run by Nashville. See a nice dish out there to Sharon Zhao.
I think seems like they're doing their sag again, maybe? Question mark?
It looks like they've pretty much crumbled into person. A nice inside look there from Amy Broom to Sharon Zhao.
Her creative throws, she just has every single throw.
And there we go. Up to Julia Schmaltz, not quite in. And there she goes. She dishes it to Annie Ortiz in the end zone. Fun fact about Annie, she has a cat named Iggy. Follow the cat on Instagram. It's a great cat. It's a really cute cat. Gonna plug the Iggy Instagram. Comment in the YouTube comments below if you know where the name Iggy comes from.
So I'm curious to see what Nightshade was kind of doing. Like they seemed like they kind of set up a zone or a sag and then they crumbled right away. So I'm wondering if they maybe they were like, hey, if it gets to half field, we should fall out of it, or I wonder what the reasoning was that they've crumbled out of it so quickly. But their transition D was pretty good, but Torch was able to find kind of some of the open players.
Very good. We'll see this O-line out here for the Nightshade. Got the usual suspects here with Claire Kelsey Foster, Colleen Wright. Got a nice center here to Sierra Rimmer.
Seems like Lauren this time, number 32, was kind of set up the isolation for the side stack.
Oh, and a pick call downfield.
And shout out to Jason. I unfortunately did not know who you were, but Dominica was like, Jason, the person you help coach. And I was like, oh, yes, of course.
Yeah, Luis and I used
Fun
to coach
fact.
a mixed team together
Fun
here
fact.
in Austin, a high school mixed team called Bowie High School. Shout out to all the Bowie kids.
Added Dominica to the staff, and maybe she helped us secure the state championship. But I would like to thank all my hard work. You know, I've laid the foundation for
We
everything.
might have won again this year without him there. Oh, and a great grab there from Claire. Well, it looks like there was a pick called. Great possession-saving grab. Claire seems to be known for these great grabs to save possessions. I'm really impressed with her cutting skills so far in this game. We'll have Colleen Wright back with the disc. See a good strike cut there. Just looked off. And a nice inside there. And a, wow, floaty backhand that Colleen
and a
Wright was
big
able to track down. And a big huck. Oh, and just an
Lauren.
absolutely great grab there from Lauren Bryant.
Lauren
Just
came down
got
with
the
it.
best position there on Jenna Bigby.
Oh, and just out of reach of Claire.
Just an unfortunate throw there from Julia Hill. Hopefully can see some shutdown defense from this Nightshade team here. And a big huck to start off to Bethany Eberhardt from Danny Runzo.
Oh! Just
And just out of the reach for Bethany
got some
Eberhardt.
fingertips on it.
And Austin is back on D. Not as windy anymore on the field, but still seeing a little bit of that downwind stuff. Oh, and again, Claire with the possession-saving grab. And another possession-saving grab here from Kelsey Foster.
I think there was a foul called, but pretty much retracted because she was like, well, we completed it, so it's like, let's keep it going.
Yep. And a great cut there from Nashville to get the disc. There's Claire again with some pressure defending by Bethany. And a deep cut there. Abby Hewitt is holstering the disc, looking for an easier option. And there she finds it with Lauren Bryant. There's a pick downfield.
Yeah, I feel like Lauren and Claire are just kind of like always open, and if they're not open, Torch is right on their hip, but they still come down with it through the contact and everything.
Really great movement here. You see Colleen Wright. With a great bobble save. And a great
grab.
toe the line grab there from Claire. Good hold there by Nashville. Really able to putting the words together. It was a really great hold in my opinion because you have that turn in the beginning that possibly jeopardizes it, and yet they're still able to come through the second time around and be chilly with it and really work it down the rest of the field to punch it into the end zone.
So kind of a little plug for Claire. So she kind of helped. She started this house show series that she created in support of women in the music industry called Hen House. So check out henhousenash.com. So since she's making plays, maybe give her a little, give her a little love. Give her a little love.
Great look there. And we will see Alyssa Raspa with the pull for the Nightshade. You see Kayla Ramirez coming over here to this O-line for Austin.
Oh.
Sharon's out.
Wow, that was a
fantastic D.
That was a block. Wow.
That was a fantastic D there from Captain Mariana Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And a great break
break.
throw there
And
from
great
Noel
continue.
Holmes. And another break.
And she's almost there.
The emotion from Mariana to overthrow that break throw. And unfortunately, we don't have a good camera angle of that amazing D. Oh, you just missed it on the restream? We'll try to get a good edit of that later. so you guys can see.
See that great block.
Oh,
Oh,
almost.
just out of reach.
Torch back on D.
So let's see if Nightshade can.
D line from the Nightshade really proven to be difficult for the Torch. Noel Holmes with the disc to Brie LeClaire. We have Kayla Ferguson with the disc. And sends it up.
Oh, nice D.
Looking for Brie, but unfortunately right into the hands of Julia Schmaltz. Almost getting that back there with Kayla. Sending it to Marissa Land, who just tracks it down in front of her. Great throw there from Kayla. And Kayla doing the most on that point on the turn. See her get emphatic with that spike right there. Just continue to move the disc down the field. It was really great defense there by the Nightshade. Just unfortunately got caught on their heels with that fast break there by the Torch. And we'll see this D-line coming out here for the Torch. Tiffany Schumacher will take pulling responsibilities. And we'll see this O-line again back out for the Nashville Nightshade. I think one player I've also been pretty impressed with on this Nashville O-line is Kelsey Foster. She hasn't been necessarily making some of the biggest plays in the world, but she has consistently been there for the cuts back-to-back on this O-line. I think they know that if you throw it to Kelsey, she will get the disc. It's always nice to have those cutters on your O-line. Those cutters that you know that if you throw them the disc, they will catch the disc. Amy Schleba fielding that
and
pull.
And again, Claire's setting that, starting as the ISO, kind of creating space, trying to get a cut, but creating the space for her teammates.
Speak of Kelsey Foster, look at that amazing grab there. And a throw right up to Abby Hewitt. And Abby Hewitt is able to just track that down right into the end zone.
Even with two Torch players in close pursuit, that throw was, is that upwind again? Yeah.
It was just perfectly out in front of Abby. She was able to track it down with almost no trouble.
Yeah.
We see on this replay. Kelsey Foster going for that big backhand fake and just sets it right out on a platter for Hewitt to track down.
Nice touch into the wind over two other chasing Torch players.
And a really quick hold there for the Nightshade. I think that's what the Nightshade's really going to need to get back into this game against the Torch.
Yeah, with only so it's 5 minutes, 6 minutes left in this quarter, and then just the fourth quarter. So got to punch those points in.
That's really nice to see. We'll see what this O-line can do. We see Annie Ortiz, or we see Kayla Ramirez out here for this Torch O-line. Interesting to see where Sharon Sow is.
You know, when a player is kind of on fire, I think we saw the last point, offensive point, Kayla was pretty much just open, right?
Yes.
And so it's well, if she's got it going, keep running.
See Annie Ortiz in the middle. An isolation side stack play to Kara Crouch to start off the point. See a nice swing there to Annie.
I was hoping to see the monster flick at that point. She seemed like she wanted it.
And a pick called on the field. Marissa looking to holster. Sees Amy downfield. Amy launching a flick out for Julia Schmaltz. Oh, and just misreads that. And it looks like there's a foul called on number 78, Eliza Hutchings. Well, look at this replay here. Here's the disc going up for Julia.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't know where the contact happened.
Ah, there. So
she got tripped up, yeah.
Oh, and then there's the fall. If I'm guesstimating here, I would say Julia's probably saying that Hutchings falling on her And it looks
kind of
like
affected.
the call has been upheld.
Yeah.
And we'll take it on the
So
end
it seems
zone.
like that contact kind of just affected her to be able to catch it.
Yep. We saw the torch taken on the end zone line, and Julia just
kind of
getting
lobs it up.
nice little throw in there for a not my favorite cut, I would say. That really close strike cut.
Yeah.
But it works, and the torch get a hold.
I feel like cuts and throws of that nature, there has to be chemistry developed, like in order to, and trust.
And
the amount of
yes.
trust. Yeah, to be able to just lob it up and be like, I know you're going to get it, or I trust that you're going to get it.
It's very true. Some interesting facts about some of these torch players. Tiffany Schumacher, fantastic cook.
What's her, does she have a specialty? Like
I don't know,
dish?
but I've had her brisket, and it's fantastic.
Oh, okay.
Shireen Raby is a lawyer in her day job. That's fun.
Wow.
Marissa Land actually travels here from Louisiana to play for the Torch. She went to college at UT, but now lives in New Orleans.
Wow, that's a...
Working as a chemical engineer. And there goes the poll.
And
Get
so
you some fun facts
much
about the Nightshade in the next.
That poll was with the win. So it's pretty much Nightshade is going upwind slightly.
Saw an isolation stack from the Nightshade again for Claire. She's sleigh ball with the disc. And she gives a
nice
blading throw that Claire's able to track down, but unfortunately throws right behind Foster. And you see the Torch moving quickly on a turn. And Foster is able to
turn right away again.
Get that D. And a cheeky around break throw to Colleen Wright there from Kelsey Foster. And an inside that was missed by Foster is picked up by Schlebaugh, who sends an inside to Claire. But unfortunately,
I think another pick is called.
There's a pick called. And it was not affected. So there's a hold for the Nightshade.
And we see that beautiful layout to keep the disc alive. And then immediately sees and does these inside throws. So the pick was... it
was uninvolved.
Uninvolved.
Claire was just that open. Every once in a while you see on the field, you're like, how are they that open? And Claire was just that open.
I think Claire is my Nightshade.
Nightshade crush?
Nightshade crush, I guess.
Kara's your Torch crush, and
Kara's
Claire
my
is
Torch
your
crush.
Nightshade crush?
Claire's my Nightshade crush. She's just able, even if she's not open, she's creating space for her teammates.
A couple fun facts about some of these Nightshade players. Kayla Ferguson co-coaches the Vanderbilt women team and is raising a future Ultimate player.
Oh.
Very excited to see. We'll see Lauren Bryant enjoys traveling and running with her dog Maddie. And we see this poll come up from number 11, Alyssa Raspaugh, who, fun fact, enjoys cooking and hiking.
And we have a big throw.
Go up. Julia Schmaltz able to track that down. Almost saw a run through D there from Kayla Ferguson. Oh, and a hammer.
Man.
Bidding. Kayla Ramirez is not able to track that down.
But that was that Nightshade defense, playing tight, kind of making every decision kind of hard and making Torch like rethink what they need to do.
We see Mariana Rodriguez back with the disc and just unfortunately misses Kayla Ferguson. Fun fact, Kayla is guarding Kayla. If anybody was wondering. And they've now done a couple switches. So now it's,
big throw. And kind of just sailed over everybody's head.
Kayla Ferguson was back guarding Julia Schmaltz.
So see if Nightshade can kind of clean it up a little bit. It seems like just the turns that have been happening are just been slight miscues.
And a swing here from Noel Holmes across the field to try to open up some space. And a nice look to Mariana Rodriguez, who gets a nice
grab
throw across the field to Kayla Ferguson. Looking for Megan Creamer. And just a wide open Eliza Hutchings. And an almost D there by Kara Crouch.
Through traffic.
And a round throw just picked up there by Julia Schmaltz. You see a nice inside to start to Kara Crouch. See Marissa Land going. Able to track it down. A great inside huck throw from Kara Crouch. You'll see Kayla now throwing it out to Marissa.
And wow.
And that was, as Marissa was doing very well at that point, had great defense on her, but just caught the deep hug, dished it, and went again, and was able to run it down the field. And we'll see the replay here. Here's this first throw from Kara to Marissa. Great inside edge on that disc. It was able to flatten out, and Marissa was able to keep her defender boxed out. And there she goes, dishing it to Kayla, who then sends it a nice around. So she's able to run it out away from her defenders.
Yeah, so I feel like both teams during that point were really trying to get the disc moving, really trying to give and go. Nightshade maybe just moving a little too quickly and kind of threw into traffic. But Torch was able to kind of dish, give back, and just do it all over again.
As you see, we're hitting about to hit the 1 minute mark here in this game. And we see, again, Nightshade bringing Brielle Leclerc over to this O-line. It's nice to have, I think it's nice to have a little bit of height on your O-line, and I think that's what they look for when they bring Brie over.
So PUL was with the wind, so Nightshade is going to be going upwind slightly.
See a little bit of a sag on these handlers and tightening back up now by Torch.
Yeah,
able to find Kelsey Foster.
You think Torch might be getting a little tired, and so they're kind of like not playing as tight as they have been?
I cannot speculate. You see Anastasia Foster on Brielle Leclerc. You hear an audible flick call from the sideline.
So they're just hard flicks.
And a great mark there, but a great grab there from Brielle Leclerc, able to track down that throw. And
no.
Almost just an errant throw there that Kelsey Foster isn't able to pick up, and she will be guarding Danny Runzo on the turn.
Oh man,
and just a drop there by Foster. And now Kelsey Foster has the disc. Colleen Wright's got some great fakes, really trying to move her mark around. See Schleybaugh with the disc with that blade. And there's the horn, so Nashville Nightshade will finish out this possession with a score or with a turnover. Great defense here by the Torch, trying to isolate them. And a pick call. We'll see Colleen Wright bringing the disc back in once this call is solved. Would be definitely a nice momentum gainer for the Nightshade to get this point out of half and make it a 3-point instead of a 4-point game, especially with them receiving to start the fourth quarter.
And
it goes up. And there's that height we were talking about earlier. Brie Leclerc just able to track it down, and we have a 3-point game here with Nashville receiving to start the fourth quarter. You got to think that was definitely on their mind when they're going to try to score this to end the quarter, that they're possibly going to get another hold to make it a 2-point game to come out in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and I think there's several times that she was just wide open in that back corner, but the wind's kind of pushing, and so handlers are trying not to turn it over to make the quarter in. But since she was so open, all she had to do is kind of put it nice out into space and blade it into her, and she just catch it.
She's got it. Want to give a shout out to VC. You see all the kits on the field have been supported and donated by VC. If you remember the sponsor a player drive that was done at the beginning of the season. Currently, it seems all the sponsors of the player kits have been shipped out. Today, the Torch players had their sponsor
gear ready for pickup, right?
Yeah, for pickup. So if you sponsored a player and wanted to pick it up, it was able to be picked up today. So that's pretty awesome and pretty great to see. Really great to see a company like VC coming out and putting their effort behind this league and really giving that confidence to them.
Yeah.
And supplying all these fantastic jerseys to all these teams. Okay. We'll see the Torch getting ready to come out on D. You see the Soul
in the background.
In the background behind them.
Getting ready for their game.
After this, you should go over to ADL TV. We'll have the Soul versus the Roughnecks, the Texas Two-Step, the Texas Showdown.
The Red.
It's not a Red River rivalry. It's not Oklahoma.
It's the I-35
the
rivalry.
I-35
rivalry.
As we all battle I-35 here in Texas because it sucks. But yeah, so we will see this D-line from Austin coming out, trying to see what they can do. Nashville really seems to have this momentum coming into the fourth quarter, so it'll be interesting to see how they ride this in. Looking like we're going to have a side stack again to start.
And again,
this
Claire.
Quarter. And Claire is the ISO with Bethany Eberhardt on her. Take a nice swing. Unfortunately, you just see Kelsey Foster drop that disc, and the Torch have a chance to break. With a nice swing there to Sky Fernandez, who then swings it to Valerie Pinillos, who sends a hammer over to Katie Metzler.
There you go. That works.
Who launches one up in the air for,
there's a lot of contact.
Looks like there is a foul called on the field.
And I'm not sure if.
We didn't really have great perspective on that. So
yeah, I'm not.
If we look at this replay here, we'll see this pretty lofty.
Little hammer first.
The hammer first. And you'll see this lofty backhand come up from Katie Metzler. And it's a score from the Torch. During the replay, it was talked about. You'll see here, yes.
Oh, yeah. There was definitely contact with the Nightshade player.
We saw some stopped rotation from Sydney Overman. And it was an overturned.
So it is 14-10 Torch. I think the score doesn't necessarily represent, like, how close this game really is. Like, there's just been, like, drops and miscues from the Nightshade.
And on both teams, honestly.
Yeah, and I feel like Nightshade, unfortunately, has had more, and Torch has capitalized on those. And so if Nightshade can just kind of focus in and execute, I think it would be a neck-and-neck score. Like, it feels like a tight game.
It'll be interesting to see what the next 11 minutes of gameplay look like.
And to end this quarter, there's the buzzer rule is in effect. So as soon as the buzzer goes off, the game will end. Is that correct?
I don't believe so.
Oh.
Let me double check. We will double check that. Nashville O-line is just very steadily working the disc up the field with great movement and cuts. And there's a deep shot, beautifully placed in front.
Space. Wow.
An absolutely fantastic deep shot to Lauren Bryant. Oh, and there's a call on the field.
So for all those watching at home, the wind's actually kind of stopped. It's not necessarily, it's maybe gusty at times, but the wind is, it's pretty much not going to be much of a factor anymore until it starts up again, of course. So it was a score?
And, yeah, so the travel call was, there was a travel called on the field on Slayaw's throw, and it was overturned by the observer. there's the throw. Maybe it's hard to tell from that.
Maybe
But honestly, just a great throw right out in front of Lauren Bryant. And that's a Nashville hold after getting broken on the first point of this quarter. And we'll see this Torch O-line back out. We'll see Sharon Tsao back in this O-line lineup after missing a couple O-line points in the third quarter. It looks like fourth quarter is still the same rules. Whoever has possession at the end of the quarter will finish out the game.
Oh, okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
PremierUltimateLeague.com has a lot of resources for you, including the rules. So, it seems on the website, play-ins at 0-0. Yep. And that's the same for if it goes into overtime. So if the game is tied, there are 2 overtimes. And after the second overtime, it is sudden death. And first score just wins.
Golden goal. Great movement here by the Torch O-line to start this point. And you'll see that flick that's been so popular this quarter just getting floated out right in front of Sharon Tsao.
Sharon again, she comes back and she's like, hey, I can get open all the time.
She definitely can get open.
She is always open.
A little back to this replay. You'll see the throw here from Shireen to Julia Schmaltz and just have a perfectly timed cut here from Sharon, and she's able to just run it down in front of Abby Hewitt in pursuit.
Is that like 4 points that it's been the same connection? Is that right?
It sounds about right.
Like 3 or 4 points that the same. It's almost like have they played together?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Yeah. Seems like there's definite chemistry there.
Both have had the pleasure of playing with Team USA.
Oh.
In different cycles.
Yeah.
But both have represented the United States, and both have done fantastic jobs. So it's really exciting to see them here in Austin. We'll see Brielle Leclerc back on this O-line for the Nashville Nightshade. We'll see some AUDL players traveling in through the sidelines.
Oh, here we go. Claire setting up again. Creating that space.
And just an absolute bomb out of the reach of Kelsey Foster. And it'll give the chance for Torch to get another break.
Nice swing to Sky. This is Sky's first game.
Yeah, she was inactive.
Yeah, she was rostered last year, but she didn't play. Is that correct?
Just great quick movement here from the Torch. Everyone moving down. And Danny Renzo with an inside look to Sydney Overman for the Torch break.
Sick. So sick.
Sky Fernandez represented Team USA this past cycle and won a gold medal up in the good old Canada. Our neighbors to the north.
Friends of the North.
Friends of the North, yes. Just great movement here. The Torch really has seemed
look at all these inside
settle
plays.
into
inside.
Yes.
It's great.
Torch has really seemed to settle into their offense here in this fourth quarter.
So, Dominica, you've pretty much played against or with most of the Torch players?
I have. I have the pleasure of playing on Showdown with a majority of the players on this team, or have played against them.
I luckily have had the fortune of not being in the same division as all these players. They come out to Ultimate every once in a while, and
how does that make you feel?
Pretty bad. I know I get Sky. She's not here. Elise bodies me out all the time.
Elise Bjork is a great player. Really missing her out here for the Torch.
But they're doing
really
pretty
quick
good.
Swings here from the Nightshade to start this offensive point. Almost.
Wow, look at that handler defense by
a
Torch.
Great grab there from Kelsey Foster as number 22, Sierra Rimmer just leads her into space. Claire with the disc.
Oh, man.
And just a
It's a
miscommunication.
miscue again.
Kayla Ramirez picking up the disc to Tiffany Schumacher.
Whoa, and a big.
Releases.
Just ripped it.
Wow.
Wow.
Do you think Bethany milked that one a little much?
All
Bethany with the great rundown.
She just wanted to shout out AISD for allowing us to be here at House Park.
Yes, she wanted to make it all the way so the camera angle saw AISD. AISD stands for Austin Independent School District. That was a great throw by Tiffany Schumacher. You can see here.
Wow, look at that.
Great inside edge to just float out from that backhand. And Bethany's able to almost walk it down.
Yeah. I think actually she was trying to show up to the Soul Guys back there.
Which is unfortunate because it doesn't matter.
matter.
You see Katie going there to congratulate her after that grab. Katie and Bethany are roommates together, and they have adorable dogs.
What are their dogs' names?
I don't know, but they do
they're
have adorable dogs.
Any Instagram accounts?
There are no Instagram accounts
No
for them.
Instagram
Just for
accounts.
Idgy the cat. Again, Idgy the cat. Follow on Instagram. Have any dog photos? Send them to me on Twitter. I love dog photos. We see the pole going up to this.
Still.
The D-line is out here for Nashville to try to bring a point in. You see Noel Holmes with the disc, who, thank you for telling us in the comments,
Nice
also is one of the co-coaches for Vanderbilt Women's Ultimate. One of the players for Vanderbilt
nice.
Women's Ultimate that didn't make the trip down.
Oh, just right out of reach.
Out of reach. That was a good throw there by Mariana Rodriguez. Just out of reach for Eliza Hutchings. One of the players on this Nashville roster, Ellen Yu, plays for Vanderbilt and is playing with her coaches here on this Nightshade roster. And a great D there by Colleen Wright. Colleen staying over from the O-line, really showing just what a factor she is, and a foul called here. No contest from Katie Metzler, coming in on 0.
I think Colleen's really trying to take command and really calm the Nightshade down so they could just kind of walk this in.
A nice head fake there.
Nice.
And gets Mariana Rodriguez right out into that open space. You saw her give a little head nod to the right, be like, go that way. And just a great cut. And good hold there from the Nightshade. Really was necessary, kind of stop the bleeding from the past couple of points. And just see Runzo just get on her heels and overcommit to the break side in the end zone.
Yeah, so both teams are pretty much only carrying 20-player roster. So even, like, this is the last quarter, and they're just still going. They are still grinding. They're still playing tight defense. So, and they're still dancing.
And they're still dancing. That's the best part.
I would probably be laying down on the sideline.
9 to 5 is playing, if anybody was wondering, which is why they're dancing. A great song. We'll see this D-line out for Nashville. Have swapped out Colleen Wright. She's going to stay on those O-line points. Mariana Rodriguez just really booking it down on the pole to guard Shireen Raby, who has the disc to start this point.
So it looks like they're sagging somewhat again.
Pretty much unmarked Annie Ortiz is just got a running in the backfield. Now Mariana's picked her up.
Looks like their Nightshade is now playing tight.
Austin seems content just working it up the open side with undercuts. A little inside look there for Marissa Land to Sharon Sow.
Is she going to throw a cheeky throw?
Content for the around break there. And a
nice.
inside look there to Marissa Land from Shireen Raby. Just really worked it down the field. Nashville seemed to be getting caught on their heels a lot on this point. And see you see this inside throw here. Shireen guarded by number 10, Melanie Lindsley, and just squeaks it in past Ginger Price to Marissa Land for the score. And the hold for Austin. Want to give a shout out to Texas Physical Therapy Specialists. They're on hand today. They are the trainers for not only the Austin Torch, but the Austin Soul. So they'll be out here all night. Elise Bjork, who's not here, works at Texas Physical Therapy Specialists, and she is fantastic. She generally works these Soul games.
She's treated a lot of the community.
She has treated a lot of the community here. She's a fantastic physical therapist, and if you do live in the Texas area, Texas Physical Therapy Specialists have clinics all the way from Kyle up through Dallas. Great organization that I really recommend you check out. And there goes the pull to start out of bounds.
Kind of out of bounds. So there's no wind, so probably they just need to adjust to what they are kind of used to throwing when it was windy.
See Colleen Wright taking the disc to the center of the field, again guarded by Katie Metzler. See, a lot of these matchups have kind of sunk in for the game. You see Bethany Eberhardt again on Claire, who just dishes it to Schleba, guarded by Kayla Ramirez. Almost by Anastasia Foster, but it means her person is poached. And she's able to get back.
Oh, there's a lot
of... And a good D there by Sydney Overman. Unfortunately, Kelsey Foster was not able to reel that in. Seeing a round break there. And just some miscommunication by the Torch cutters about who that disc was for. And you see Amy Schleba going to pick up the disc again. Good cut there from Abby Hewitt with an inside throw there to Schleba. And Wright sends it. Brielle Leclerc, who just misses it.
Yeah.
Trying to toe it in and wasn't able to grab the disc in the process. It was a great cut, great throw, just an unfortunate error.
Yeah, I think that's what maybe Nightshade, they were doing such a good job of like using the whole width of the field, and as soon as they started to use it again, they were able to kind of get those other like deep shots and those other angle of attacks to be able to get like open once they swung the disc like the whole width of the field.
And you see Amy Kay calling a timeout for the Torch. I think she's trying to get this break in, and we'll see the O-line coming out. And we'll probably see
a full line change.
Full line sub for both teams at this point.
Yeah.
The D-line will be coming out for the Nashville Nightshade. Interesting to see what kind of defense we're going to see coming out for Nashville. It looks like some lane poaches are occurring, trying to figure out who they're on. Looks like they're set now. You see Kelsey Foster in the lane. And you see actually a hybrid line here for Nashville. You see some of their O-line players and some of their D-line players hoping that if they do generate the turn, and a great
flick.
Huck.
That's crazy. And right back and forth, and wow, that was...
That kind of movement, we've seen a lot from the Torch today, where someone cuts deep, they dish it to a player that is trailing behind and just continue their cut for the score.
Yeah.
Look at this throw again from Amy Broom. Just uses her whole core.
Well, maybe let's
Never mind,
let's
you
not
don't
look
see
at
it. But in our minds, we will see Amy Broom.
We saw it. That's all that matters.
Engaging her core and just absolutely launching that flick huck to Julia Schmaltz.
Great.
Who then dished it to Kara Crouch and then continued in for the score. We'll see this standard O-line back out for Nashville. Definitely an interesting, I like that they did a hybrid line. Kind of for that timeout point. It's nice to see that confidence. Oh, and here's this replay we now have.
And, there's that big, just beautiful
But continuing, I like the hybrid line. It's a good call, especially when you know you have such great players on your O-line with Kelsey Foster and Colleen Wright that are able to play good defense as well as on the turn you can rely on them.
Yeah, and especially I think there's like different strategies with like doing full line changes. Like, hey, you only have to do this for maybe, a couple minutes or like couple seconds.
We'll see Colleen Wright again picking up the disc. She'll dish it to Slaybaugh, who works it down to Foster.
Oh,
and Foster releases
Claire.
a big backhand.
Oh, look at that.
And Claire just absolutely outruns Rachel Yeager for the hold.
Yeah.
That was a quick hold there for the Nashville Nightshade. Definitely needed.
Yeah, they need to punch it in a couple quick times. But yeah, Claire, like she started kind of set up and she just cleared out the space and she was the big continue on that big huck. As we see here.
Just absolutely great separation there from her defender. Something slightly different that we see, there are 70 seconds in between each point, and the coaches must be off the field after 50 seconds.
Yeah.
And so that's slightly different than we see in USAU and AUDL. It doesn't really give the coaches a lot of time to make any changes in between points, so the players really have to be heads up and listening.
Yeah.
As they're off the field, especially if you get broken and you're the O-line on again. It's not a lot of time to make any substantial adjustments or changes.
I feel like it puts a lot more, like, I guess, responsibility on, like, the leadership and the captains and the players leading those lines.
Exactly. You see Kayla Ferguson there with the pull. See a little bit of a junky set here. You have two players here on Amy Broom, so they leave that dump wide open. Almost an incredible foot block there by Mariana. Oh, it seems to be a two-person cup zone.
Yeah.
It is a zone. And they have a man defender on Marissa Land.
So I think the Nightshade kind of try to mix things up. It's like
it's a nice look. I like the change of pace for the Nightshade in order to try to
slow down Torch.
And get them out of their plays. It seems like Torch's pool plays have really been catching Nashville off guard, so it's really nice to see this change in movement. It seems they've now transitioned to man and a big hammer,
like
but
a foul
was
call?
I don't want to say decked, but decked. Annie Ortiz was kind of hit.
But was it after the throw?
It might have been after the throw, so it's hard to tell, but I think a foul was called. And the disc is being sent back. We'll see the replay here.
Let's see.
She goes for it, and it was
after
the release.
After the release.
It was after the release.
Don't think that was a foul.
I also agree. If we were playing whiff diff, I believe it would have been a foul because any contact in the motion.
Oh, really?
But even I believe we are playing by USAU rules.
Gotcha.
And there you have Sharon just outside the end zone, and
another foul.
I think there are no hand signals on the field, so I can't tell.
I thought I saw the observer do the foul.
Foul movement?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a foul somewhere on the field.
Yeah, it must have been from one of the cutters.
Disc is staying with Sharon on the end zone line. And you'll see Julia just trying to outrunning Megan Creamer. Kind of a foot race.
I think Julia's she's kind of limping. She's kind of grabbing her hamstring.
That's unfortunate. Hopefully nothing's wrong. Julia, before she found Ultimate, was a high jumper at Oklahoma State. She was there for a year before she transferred to UT and was on the UT rowing team for a year.
Oh.
Here you'll see this foot race here from Julia and Megan Creamer. And there it is. Right in that acceleration, you see her grab her hamstring.
Yeah.
Hopefully everything's okay. What I really love reading through all these players' bios is how many players here are involved in coaching Ultimate and other aspects of the game. It's been really fun to read about a lot of these players. Abby Hewitt actually used to play for Texas Public Enemy, which is a mixed team, and has now moved to Nashville.
I think I might have heard that she might be a Texas native, and that probably makes sense why she played with Public Enemy.
Yeah, she also played with Atlanta Bucket and Ozone for a couple years. And there goes a big huck
Oh, man.
just over the head. But you saw Abby Hewitt trying to run it out after the fact. I love seeing second. I love seeing second attempt catches and effort. I feel like so many teams overlook that, and that's what you see from these really gritty teams.
Oh, and a big
huck there from Danny
Oh,
Renzo, just out of the
reach.
reach of Kayla Ramirez, who was guarded by Kelsey Foster.
Injury, I
And
believe.
there seems to be an injury called. Abby Hewitt taking an injury, and Kayla Ferguson coming on to the field. Kayla Ramirez is also taking an injury, or taking a sub with that, and Marissa Land is coming on for her. Interesting to see.
Wesley in the chat is shouting out Marissa's new shoes.
Ah! Way to go, Marissa.
So.
Ooh, they're very pretty. They're nice and white. I also bought new cleats yesterday. Probably one of the most annoying experiences of my life. Great cutting movement downfield from Nightshade. Not entirely sure what's going on and why Sierra didn't throw it downfield, but gets Colleen in a nice power position, who sees Kelsey Foster for the under. See Kelsey Foster now looking dump to Colleen, who gets again in power position, and there she goes launching it to Bree Claire, and just reeling it in. I feel like every time Bree,
slightly missed.
Oh, so
over.
close. She tried.
She tried.
She tried so hard for that one.
The Nightshade handlers were doing a phenomenal job, just kind of juking and getting open on those power positions. They're kind of like shoulder hip faking and just getting those nice power positions that allowed for that big hook to happen.
Yeah, it's been really fun to watch Bree on this O-line. If you see here, Colleen Wright coming up for this hook and just floats it completely out in front of Bree for her to track it down. I feel like every time she's been on this O-line, she's scored deep. She's just a phenomenal deep cutter. And do we really have to watch this?
Almost.
It was so close. You see the look of disappointment on her face.
Just always know, players out in the field, someone's always watching.
There we see Alyssa Raspa with the pull for the Nightshade. We'll see Annie Ortiz get in the middle of the field.
Oh,
kind of
Sharon.
An isolation cut from Sharon Sow. Her defender falls, and a beautiful hook downfield. And Julia Schmaltz toes it in.
It's in. It's in for a torch score.
It was great defense there from Eliza Hutchings. Was so close to getting the D on that. We'll see here on the replay in a couple seconds.
Yeah. This replay is going to show.
Racho by Spin Ultimate.
Wow.
See Eliza Hutchings really closing the gap here, but the throw is just right out in front of Julia Schmaltz.
So you think now that the wind's kind of calmed down, that everybody's kind of getting more comfortable and they're willing to just throw these big hucks now?
I think that's really great. You see her get that toe just right down in the line. It'll be interesting to see if Nashville comes out with the same side stack isolation play for Claire. And I'll see Bree back on this O-line for Nightshade.
Yeah, so we're underneath the 2-minute mark, so that means all calls will stop the clock.
Yes, unlike the rest of the quarters, we will see
more stoppage.
More stoppage in these last 2 minutes of gameplay. Also, the clock will start when the disc is picked up. So as you saw, the clock did not start with the pull, and almost.
And a miscue meant to be thrown to Claire.
Saved the play there by Kelsey Foster, but unfortunately it was a turnover, just dropped right out of her hands. See the Austin Torch try to work this down the field. A nice inside look. And a timeout called by the Torch.
So we're thinking the same full line change for the put some offensive.
I think we'll definitely see a full line change from the Austin Torch. It'll be interesting to see if Nashville goes with
that hybrid
OD line or a full D line again. I think we should see here in a couple of seconds. Looks like we're going to get pretty much a true D-line here. Yeah, we're getting a true D-line here from Nashville. We'll see Mariana Rodriguez guarding Amy Broom to start this point. And
wow,
Amy with a nice inside to Sharon, who got some separation from her defender.
And Kara Mercer they cleared all the space for Sharon just to have everything to cut underneath to.
And Eliza Hudgins tries to get the poach D and actually runs into her own teammate, number 4, Megan Creamer. Marissa Land with the offhand backhand to Kara Crouch, who continues it to Amy Broom, who was unguarded for a while. And Shireen Raby just grabs that disc through great defense from Noel Holmes. Definitely Nashville is putting up some great pressure defense on
always playing tight.
Torch cutters.
Yeah. Again, I think the thing that just hurt them the most are those miscues and drops throughout this whole game.
I would have to agree with you. Here we see Aubrey Davis is also one of the coaches that we haven't really talked about a lot for the Austin Torch.
Yes.
We have Amy Kay as one of the coaches this year, as well as Aubrey Davis. Aubrey would like you to know that he wrote his college entrance essay on playing Dance Dance Revolution. Fun facts about Aubrey.
And that's enough about Aubrey.
It's very much enough about Aubrey. And here we go from this pull to start this point. You see Colleen Wright with the disc again in the middle. Was an isolation play, what seemed like for Claire, but was looked off for the swing across the field.
Oh, and
a foot block.
Oh,
but
almost
recovered.
Almost recovered.
Fantastic play to try to recover the disc there from number 77,
and
Julia Hill.
Torch is just moving the disc quickly.
They're really taking advantage of these turnovers and trying to get quick movement off the turn. We've seen it sometimes not work out in their favor when they move too quick. And there we see Sydney Overman getting picked up by Colleen Wright on the under. Kind of trapped on the sideline, able to get it off. Really great defense here from Nightshade. Just a wide open Danny Runzo.
And they're using the whole width of the field, so it's allowing and
that's
hammer.
Game.
Oh, and a buzzer beat. I think that.
Does that count?
I think that counts. That's good.
And that was game. We got so involved, we almost didn't see the time on the field. Here's the time clock. Here's the throw. And there's the bobble off of Lauren Bryant's hands into Katie Metzler's arms. We want to thank you so much for joining us here on this stream. The final score, Austin Torch 23, Nashville Nightshade 14. Thank you for joining us here in Austin. Brought to you by Dougal Sports on this Torch YouTube video.
Nice production team back here doing all the heavy lifting. Dominica, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Our player of the game, I would.
You want to pick the?
I know who my player of the game is. I want to know who your player of the game is.
Oh, man. Well,
my Discraft player of the game honestly goes to Claire Bigotry Curtis from the Nashville Nightshade. I know they didn't win.
That was mine.
Okay, cool. I know they didn't win, But just absolutely phenomenal play from
Yes.
Claire. Was a phenomenal cutter throughout the game.
Yes.
Just really did a great job.
Well, then I'll pick one for the torch. How
Okay.
about that? I'm going to have to pick Kara. That awesome flick that she had, that's one for the highlight reel.
Thank you so much for joining us here in Austin. Hope you guys have a great night.